LG, what's going on, Limitless Living family? So glad that you're here. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life, avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. I am here because I want you to have the same successes that you're having in the rest of your life right here in your health. I want you to be able to show up for the things that are important, the connections, the family, the friends, the community, so that you can enjoy that. And we want you to be healthy. You don't need superhuman strength. What you need is the strategy you can trust. You need a plan you can follow and the support and the determination to keep showing up and keep being here all the time. So, hey, welcome back to another pop up. And as you know, we are in our fasting. This is our 24-hour period. We started our fast yesterday. And if you are here, I want to give you some props because you've decided to take charge of your health, take charge of your life, and you are doing something for your benefit. Okay? So welcome, whatever platform you're on, wherever social media platform you're on, Dwayne Wood MD. You can find us on all the social media platforms there. Not all, but the big ones, Twitch. We're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're here, of course, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of those. So thank you for coming through and thank you for hanging out with us. And wherever you're joining us from, I want to welcome you, whatever city, state, county, village, town you're from, or whatever country. So if you are here, I want you to drop in the comments where you're joining us from so that we can give a shout out to you and say welcome to our show. Special shout out to our accelerator members who are joining us. Thank you for coming through and being part of our community. And a special shout out. We had a couple of people who are joining us, and specifically they mentioned that they're from the Atlanta Berean Church in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you for coming through and thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of our community. Okay, so welcome, welcome, welcome. I love that because it just shows that our ideas, that our thoughts, that this concept of limitless living transcends states, countries, towns, villages, and I'm just so excited that more and more people are hearing and understanding that they can make choices for their health. Now, I want to do one additional thing. We had a comment in on one of our videos not dealing with our diabetes, but someone was having surgery and the surgery is coming up here soon. And I just wanted to let you know, and I responded to that here this morning, let you know that we are thinking about you and that we are sending good thoughts and prayers in your direction. But thank you for letting us know that. All right, so y'all, so we are in our fasting, right? So we're 24 hours, and kudos to those of you who are ending your fast today at 24 hours. As you know, we recommend that everybody should be able to fast at least for a 24-hour period. And if you started your fast with us yesterday and you are ending your fast here today, I want to give you props and give you kudos, give you a shout out, and let you know that I am proud of you and you have done something incredible by being able to walk through that fasting process, right? We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Again, so one of the things I want to remind you of, if you've not already done so, is to make sure that you are walking through this path with us. If you're new to the show, if you're new to the channel, make sure you get out to the channel and walk through the Start Here videos. If you want to know how to walk down the journey, the path that we've been on in terms of righting our health, improving our metabolism, that's where you would start, right? So start here. That's on the YouTube channel. And then if you're interested in what's going on this week, that is in the this week's videos, right? So if you want to know what we ate yesterday, what our flagship show was this past Monday, if you want to know what's going on with our Move campaign, all of that is right there in the this week's videos. Now, if you're watching this on the replay and you're looking for this week's videos, it won't be this week. It'll be whatever week you're watching, right? But those will always be there as well. So let's go ahead and let's talk a little bit about where we are. And so if you're joining us, you know that we on a weekly basis we do our fasting. And the fasting is intended to improve our metabolism. So dysfunctional metabolism is the problem that people are having with their health when we talk about chronic diseases. So things like diabetes, prediabetes, obesity, fatty liver, people who are hypertension, high cholesterol, at risk for strokes and heart attacks, and even now talking about type 3 diabetes, which is what the term is being talked about. It's not official yet, being talked about for Alzheimer's disease. So all of those are a consequence of dysfunctional metabolism. And so on a weekly basis, we use fasting as a tool to be able to right that, to correct it, and to put us in a position to be successful when it comes to our health. And so that's where we are right now. And at 24 hours, those of you who are ending your 24-hour period, I want to once again give you kudos. Now, at this time, you might be feeling some things, right? So you might be feeling a little hunger. You might be feeling as though you are having a little bit more cravings. And this actually comes in waves, right? So the hunger comes in waves. For those of you who are ending, those of you who are starting the first several hours of the fasting, you may feel some of that, okay? And I want you to remember that a craving or the hunger pangs, those are not emergencies. And they come pretty much every 20 minutes for that first, right at about 6 hours or so. And so you can, if you push through that, you can actually ride that wave and the wave will resolve. So these waves that come are not an emergency. So sometimes we'll feel that and we're like, oh my goodness, my stomach is growling, or I feel lightheaded, or those hunger pangs are not emergencies. You may also feel a little fatigue as the body is switching between different energy sources. That is normal. So a lot of things that you're feeling right now, you might even have some thoughts about food. I'm gonna put my hand up, right? So thoughts about food, particularly as I see some of our team members, just a little while ago, go to lunch. And when they got up and they're warming this stuff up, and I smell that, I see them moving towards the conference room, and they, watch movies and talk and fellowship in there. So yeah, so my brain goes to food, but that is not a fault. It's actually something wrong, something normal, right? Nothing here means that there's something wrong. Nothing here means that you can't continue. This is simply your body adjusting. It is not rebelling. This week, we've talked about, on our flagship show, we talked about this idea of integration. And integration has as its basis the idea that there are lots of things that we learn. We talk about the health action plan, for example, a lot of things that we learn. And sometimes we talk about them in isolation, like this one here and that one there and this one there. But they are all integrated. And when we do a good job of working them together, then we are um, much more able to move into success, particularly as we are talking about our health. Now, that concept goes for lots of things, but here specifically, we're talking about health. Here's the only question I want you to ask yourself this week, though, or right now. I should say this week. Right now, is is what you're feeling hunger, or is it a part of your habits? Okay, is it hunger, or is it part of your habits? And the reason I want you to identify that, and as we walk through some of the concepts earlier this week, being able to listen to ourselves, understand what's going on in our body, and then apply our thought process is what helps us to be successful. So having a routine way of going through that process. Remember the inner design loop, and walking through that process is very important. So most of the time at 24 hours, what we're feeling is not hunger. It is the routine. It is the habits that we've gotten into. The time of day reminders, like I just mentioned, when I see my team get up and they're going to eat, then in my brain I'm like, okay, yeah, it's eating time, and so my brain starts to go down that path. Automatic patterns, right? So we just are used to eating on a regular basis, not even with the cues, but we're just used to just grabbing something well, I shouldn't say 5, 10 minutes, although that's the case, particularly if you're working, right? So you're working on the computer or you're doing something, you grab something. You may grab some peanuts, you may grab some other nuts, some almonds, grab a grape, grab an apple. And so we've gotten into the habit of doing that, and that shows up in this space. And then the other thing is at this time, like I said, we get those thoughts of hunger. So not biological hunger, and so there are two. So there's the psychological hunger, and then there is the biological, physiological hunger. Naming it gives us power. So when we can see, okay, this is not that, this is not hunger, this is something else is going on, then we take back the power from that. Okay. So here are some simple things that we want you to pay attention to as you are moving into this space. And I actually had someone reach out to me recently to say, hey, what do you do with hunger? What do you do when you're starting to feel hungry? And so I sent them a little list of things, but let's walk through some of that here together. Often, hunger is confused with dehydration. And as you're walking through the fasting space, because we're not thinking about eating, we also don't think about drinking. And so that sometimes will come. So sipping water, right? A lot of the early signs that we're feeling really are dehydration signals. So they're not hunger. And so drinking, right? Making sure you're hydrated. And one of the comments that I made to this person is, hey, make sure you don't just gulp it, right? We're not chugging it down. This is not a race, but we're just doing couple of things actually. We are hydrating, but we're also following some of the behavioral patterns that we're used to having something in our mouth, right? So when we're drinking, we're substituting those peanuts, those almonds, those candies, those grapes. We're substituting that with the water. So we're going through the behavioral habit, and we're also hydrating. Number two would be in the hydration, a couple of things you can use. Seltzer water. You can use sparkling water. I use a lot of zero sugar beverages, right? So that helps me. It gets the taste, it gets the burn, it gets the fullness in the stomach, and all of that signals to me, okay, you're good. You're good. So hydration. Number two, move. Move for between a minute and 2 minutes. Remember, move a muscle, change a thought. Often it is that we are not distracted, and so our mind kind of drifts. But even if we are distracted, sometimes those hunger signs can come, and if we begin moving, that will help, right? That you don't need to manage the hunger, simply change your position. Okay, move. A little movement calms the hunger circuits. And then focus just on this next little while. So we're not thinking about, okay, if I'm starting my fast now, for those of you who are starting, I'm not thinking, oh my goodness, I've got 24 hours to go. I'm thinking about, okay, what do I do right now at this moment? How do I get through this moment? And when you do that, then the next moment and the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. You don't need to manage Thursday. Right? Let's just manage today, right? So just manage the next half hour. And if you still feel stressed, then we can sit, we can breathe, we can do box breathing, we can do some yoga, we can do some meditation. Having something to distract you is going to be beneficial as well. Okay. And so those are the things that we want to do. So let's go ahead and let's walk through a micro reflection. So I want you to take just the next 10 seconds right now, and I want you to ask yourself, what helped me stay on track today? What has helped me to stay on track today? For those of you who are ending the fast, great conversation to have going into next week. And those of you who are starting the fast today, and those of you who may be starting it tomorrow, this is a great place to begin thinking about what has helped me so far move through this space, help me to stay consistently. Was it a walk? Did I go and I spend some time walking down the street or walking around the block or up and down the stairs? Was it hydration? Right? Sipping. Was it staying busy, right? Distraction. Was it some other kind of mindset thing? Was it meditation? Was it prayer? Was it moving out of the kitchen? Right? So change your environment also changes the thoughts because you don't have those You don't have those cues. Turning off the TV would be a good one. Getting good rest. And today I spent time in the office here talking to several people about rest, the importance of getting good rest. And remember, that's one of the pillars of our health action plan. And then avoiding food videos. I can't tell you the number of times. It just seems like when I'm fasting, that's when all those videos about food, cooking different types of food. I'm not going to go through them because I don't want to trigger you, but I'm getting those now, right? So they just show up, and it happens. Oh, he's fasting. Let me go ahead and let's show him that. And then, of course, going outside, getting some sun, some fresh air. All of these are with the intention of helping you to do some micro reflection, some gentle things that you can do to help with the cravings that you may have right now. So whatever it was, that's the thing you want to lean into. So whatever those things were that helped you stay consistent, to stay on the plan, you want to lean into those. Those are going to be some of the key things that you do. So if you're here right now, if you're listening to this, if you are coming out of your 24 hours or actually getting ready to go in your 24 hours, or you are going to be with us for the longer fast as we go through this week, I want you to, in the comment, I want you to drop in right now and says, I am. Right? So I am. That's all I want you to. Normally I tell you to say me, but I say I am. Right? So I am. So I am with you. So either you're fasted and you broke the fast today, or you're starting the fast today, getting into tomorrow, or you're going to do the third day, the complete fast that we're doing, or you're doing one of the other types of fastings. So maybe you're doing a 16-8 or a 12-12. All of those things that are things that you can do. And I want to remind you, you are not weak. What you're feeling is normal. It is natural. It is a part of the process. We're not looking for perfection, but we're looking for consistency. You are not behind. All right, so everybody else is fasting at 48 and I'm on it. No, no, no. You are where you are for your journey so far. And you're learning new patterns, you're learning new rhythms, you're learning new behaviors, and this is the process that we've been on. You're finding stability and you're showing up for your health in a way that you never did before. Okay? So here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to drink some water. I want you to take a breath. And I want you to settle your mind. So drink some water, take a breath, and settle your mind. And we want to go into the next phase of this. Whether you broke the fast and you are now refeeding, or you've just started the fast, you're going through the next pre-prandial or post-prandial hours into your fast, or you are preparing right now to get into the fast starting tomorrow, right? This is what I want you to do. You are right on track. You're supported because we're here with you. You are not doing this alone. And we will see you as we get into our 33-hour check-in this evening. So make sure you join us for that. It's going to be at 9 p.m. right here on the channel. I'm excited for you. I'm glad that I get to walk along with you. When you come on tonight, you'll get to see what's been going on with my blood sugars. You'll get to see what my ketones are. Right, so make sure that you join us for that, and you will get we'll get to talk more about us moving through the rest of this week. All right, so let's go ahead and let's say hi. I see Cornelia out there. She says hi, Dr. Wood and LLG. She says I just got some water. I'm settling my mind. Thank you, sir. Cornelia, awesome, awesome. And Cornelia, I saw your message in the group. I have a response that I didn't post yet, so just pay attention to that. We'll have that out to you in here just a little bit. And our thoughts and our prayers are with you and with your family. Okay. And just let me make a comment here as we pick on Cornelia for just a minute. This is the power, y'all, of community. This is the benefit of community, that we are here not just because we're interested in health, that we're interested in fasting, but because everything is intertwined and integrated, it touches us in so many different ways. So that when you are in community, the community helps to support and helps to push you forward and helps allow you to lean on them when you may have some other issues going on. Okay. And so she said, thank you. I'll check on it. Thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, well, y'all, thank you for coming through. Thank you for being here. So if you're fasting, remember I am, and continue to post, continue to watch, continue to hang out with us. We'll have our show tonight, 33-hour check-in at 9 p.m. on the channel. Tomorrow we'll be back with our pop-up at 48 hours. Tomorrow night we'll be back with our check-in at 56 hours. And then, of course, on Friday we'll have our complete review of fasting, how to prepare for the fast, how to get through the fast successfully, and then how to break the fast. We'll have our rest of the week as we talk about this week in review. Well, first on Saturday night, we'll have video from the vault, and then on Sunday morning, this week in review at 6 a.m. And then we'll be right back here, y'all, for Dwain Woode MD Live as we continue our Blueprint series. So we'll see you in the community. We'll see you in the space. Continue to be excited about your health because you're doing and you're making some amazing choices. Hey, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications, go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted, and we are living limitless lives. I want to help you to have success in your health, just like you're having in other areas of your life. So you can show up for those significant events and those people, your family, your friends, your community. You don't need superhuman strength. What you need is a strategy you can trust. You need a plan you can follow, and you need the determination and the support to keep showing up. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time. Have a great one.